All right, guys, we are back. So hopefully you can hear me over the heater. I do have my microphone on now, so hopefully that'll help you a little bit, and hopefully I can uh, somehow get that noise out, so you're not hearing the heater in the background. Maybe it's not too bad for you. I'll find out when I edit this video, but hopefully I can get it out without any issues. I don't know if I showed this, but this is basically where it's going to sit at. And that's where she'll ride. So they make a bracket that goes on the outside between the firewall and the booster. And I may have to use that because this may still be an issue. I mean, I needed the length on the pedal, so that, but I've still got, I mean, I guess it just depends on what the, what kind of bracket I make for this to go on. I'm not worried about the brake light switch because I'll use a switch, a hydraulic switch on the that's in line with the brake line. So that will be my for my brake lights. So I'm not worried about using a factory GM style brake pedal switch, brake light switch. So I should be pretty good right there. But that's where she'll ride at, and then I've still got plenty of movement. I mean, I've still got probably another inch or so to the floor. So yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect spot for her right there. Like I said, here is where the old pedal come out, and I mean it's same spot, so it might be an inch off maybe, but yeah, I'm not worried about it. That should be fine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and take all this stuff back off. I've just got these bolts hand tight in the brake thing, so I just wanted to put that up there just to double check what we got going on here, and then say we'll get all this stuff back off. I will tell you guys, of course, we're really bitter cold right now. It's probably 2 degrees outside again. I've had the heat on for probably 45 minutes or so, and it's still really cold out here. So I don't know how much, if this weather stays like this, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done. I mean, I don't have a problem working out in the cold, but when it gets down into the extreme cold, they're saying tomorrow is going to be like -10. So it gets that. I mean, I'm not going to be out here in the morning anyway. So my goal on this car is to have it done by May. There's a car show in May that I always go to. I always take something, and I don't have anything to take other than this. And so I want to take this. I want to get it done, take this, and then there's also several other shows that I haven't been to that I want to go to this year. It's fairly local, within an hour and a half or so. And then this last Thanksgiving, this last November, I went to the Daytona turkey run for the first time, and I really liked that. And I want to try to start going to that every year. We go to Daytona every year anyway, but it's usually at Christmas time, and we stay, week and a half or so, sometimes 2 weeks. But we decided this year that because I wanted to go to that turkey run, we just go with Thanksgiving. So I think that's what we're going to start doing now. Instead of Christmas, we're just going to go with Thanksgiving. That way I can go to the turkey run, and then also going to take this with us. So that's the plan, and hopefully everything goes good together. I did order some tires for this. I wanted some white wall tires but I didn't want to pay the 250 plus tires for like Coker or Diamonds or whatever. So I went with there's like 3 different brands out there that still make a 1.5 inch wide white wall tire. And other than like Coker makes them also, but they also make the wide ones, 2 inch, 3 inch, stuff like that. So I thought best bang for the buck would be just go with a 1.5 inch white wall that you can still buy. So there's like 3 brands. They're cheaper tires. I think the ones I plan on buying, I need to get those ordered this week. They was like $101 a piece, and they all ranged from like, I think the cheapest one was like 90 something, and then 110, I want to say, for the more expensive one. But I went with the middle. It's called a Sure Track, and I've been looking at reviews on them. Seem to be a good tire. They're made in Thailand, so I don't know. Uh, Honestly, I don't know. Most of our tires are probably made overseas anyway. So, but yeah, so I am going to go with those, and I will get those ordered. So that's those clips. Well, that way you can see it. That's those clips that hold the carpet up on the uh, firewall. And I'm not going to reuse them. I'll end up just putting sheet metal screws or something in it with like a disc. I need to get I got a lot of screws in here that I need to keep track of. Might need those. I need to get like a white jumpsuit type thing. Oh, a big old hole right there. That'll need a little patching. That's right there around that rocker area where it was rusted on the outside. So yeah, I'll definitely have to cover that up. I'd do the old school way and just put an old license plate down there and screw it in. No, I won't do that, but I will definitely get it taken care of. But anyway, as I was saying, you'll notice I kind of bounce all over the place when I'm talking. I kind of just say what comes to mind sometimes, and I don't mean to, but that's the way I'm programmed, I guess. But get a white jumpsuit, then I'll get up here and get all this insulation scraped off up top. So this ductwork here, I probably won't use this because it'll probably come with the AC unit when I do put it in. It's probably not going to be something that is going to go in right away because I don't think I'll drive this in the winter time. Never know, but get these clips out of here. Some of them are kind of a pain to get out, like that one. So this has one duct that went up and does the defrost all the way. So this deal here is just like a big cavity all the way across with little vents in the top to blow up on the windshield, and it all goes into where this ductwork was hanging off of right there. So that'd be easy to hook up. And I've seen some guys that made their own little heater boxes out of just uh, a heater core and made the box that it goes in. And that, if I just wanted heat, that'd probably be what I would do because it'd be so simple. But I want air conditioner too, so To me, it's worth to spend the extra to get the air conditioning. I'm just so my only thing about the air conditioning is, you've got the condenser and everything on front of the radiator, and then a lot of people have to run electric those electric fans, and I'm not opposed to running that, but there's nothing worse that I hate is going to a car show and these cars rolling in, and all you hear is a big old freaking jet engine on the front of a nice '57 Chevy because them fans are freaking noisy. And I'm not real. I am running a mechanic. Okay. Man, that thing's on there good. I am going to run a mechanical fan on this, so hopefully I don't need to run a electric fan for the AC unit, but I got a feeling I probably will. I mean, I know back in the day they didn't have electric fans on these old cars, but I don't know how many times I've overheated in these old cars. Just and even having like a straight, like a 4-blade fan or whatever, and still overheat. The '55 Dodge that I had that 270 Red Ram Hemi in it. If you went to a car show and you had to wait any time at all, it'd start overheating. And then you have to sit there and put it in neutral and rev it up and everything else, trying to get water to flow or get the fan to flow through the radiator, pull some air. But yeah, hopefully I don't have to deal with that. But I'm sure it's probably going to need it. So these rods here are just for my wiper motor. They'll go back up out of the way, and then this is just my air vent above in front of the hood or behind the hood, I guess you could say. So yeah, this panel or this opening here where this heater box and everything was, I'm just going to put a panel there because it'd be easier to just take that panel off if I ever need to get in here to get to the wiper motor, because the wiper motor sits right here. So it'd be easier doing that than it is laying under the dash and trying to do everything. So there's a little bit of a hole over here, not as bad as that side, but this is going to need some attention too, along with all the acorn nuts and crap that must have had squirrels in here. I don't know, the mice care too much for that, for the acorns, but we got a little resistor here. That is, it's like screwed in. Well, actually, that might be for the, no, I don't know what it's for. I thought maybe it might be for the radio antenna, because this did have a radio, or it does have a radio in it. Obviously, it's AM, so I'm not going to be using it. So they make retro radios for cars that you can put in place of your, and they're AM, FM, and Bluetooth and all that good stuff. But they don't make one for this, and I couldn't find anything that would fill the hole if I took the old radio out. And so I think I'm just going to leave it in. Just leave the factory radio in it because it's cool looking anyway. And I might see if I can get the light to at least work. So give it a little bit of that, and then I've got like my JBL5 speaker that I'll just put right in front of the front bench seat down on the floor. That seemed to work pretty good when I had the Dodge when we go to the car show and stuff. I would take it because it's saying actually it didn't even have a factory radio in it, believe it or not, but it didn't even have a hole for one. Man, that thing's really being a pain. I will say this car, for being however old it is now, what, 75 years old? That's probably not that old. I don't know. Anyway, for however old it is, my math's not too good without a calculator. But for how old this thing is, and of course it's been sitting most of its life, all the bolts come out easy. Like when I took the doghouse off of this, the front bumper, and pulled the motor out, I pulled the motor and transmission together, but when I took all that stuff out, every bolt come loose like it just been installed in there, just like the U-bolts on the back of this. I put a little lube on them and they came right off. And I had to take them off by hand because the way my lift is made, I couldn't get an impact under them to do anything. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely, everything comes out easy on this thing, which I really like. But, I mean, it was a low mile car. It was only 30 some thousand miles. You know, of course, I got it from the original owner, so I even got the original title. The license branch at first wouldn't want to let me keep the original title. And then I finally talked them into it enough to let me keep it, but they ended up putting a stamp on it that it was basically useless. And that's fine. You know, it's not like I just want it for documentation more than anything. And this car was, if I remember correctly, 1275 or 1250 new in 1954. It had the price on the title. Yeah, I like this car. A lot of people never do what I'm doing to it just because this car to them just isn't worth it. And it's really not worth it to anybody. I mean, if it's a two-door sedan or a coupe, you know, that'd be a different story, but it's just not worth it to anybody. And I get it. I mean, it's worth it to me because I like these old cars anyway. And I've always wanted this car. I just didn't know it still existed. So if that's getting loose or if it's turning. It's turning. Yeah, definitely turning. All right, get another wrench. I mean, everybody wants a two-door, and I just sold a real nice 54 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop, and I'm telling you what, it was a beauty. Still had the original six-cylinder, but it had a paint job and interior redone not too long ago, and but it was really nice. The only thing I didn't like about it was the color. It was like a yellow green. The green I liked. It had green roof, green interior, and then green stripe down the side of it, where like most Bel Airs are on those, and looked really good. I seen it at a car show, and first I thought it was one of these because the back ends look so similar on them. I walked over to it and it had being a Bel Air two-door hardtop, and I talked to he had it for sale. He wanted a little bit more than what it was worth. Well, I can't say that because I got a lot more than what I paid for it. A lot more than he was asking for it even. But I ran into one of them situations again, kind of like similar to what I did on this, but uh, guy seen it, just had to have it because he had one like it who knows when. And same color combination and everything, other than his was an automatic, mine was 3-speed. But he wanted it, so I didn't want to get rid of it. I had only had it about 6 months, and I wasn't planning on getting rid of it because it was show quality car, and he he just had to have it, so I just shot him a price. And I thought, well, I mean, if he bites on that, I'll sell it to him because I'll be making pretty good money off of it. And he didn't even freaking blink an eye. And I told him. So, and the only reason I did that was because when I had that 55 Dodge, I took it to Square. It was a all original. It was a Survivor car. I had done some work to it, but it was a Survivor car and really nice. Or I wouldn't. It was nice, but it wasn't pristine. Uh, and but it was all original. Had the Hemi engine and everything. So that's the wow factor at car shows. Is everybody likes looking at those Hemi engines, and I like the Gen 1 Hemis. I've had several of them, but I do know that they're expensive to rebuild, and they're expensive to get parts for. That was the only thing that scared me on that Dodge was if I, and same with this, if I was to fix this motor that was in this, that 331, it'd be the same deal. I'm going to have to cut that probably. It might already be cut on the outside. But same deal, I could fix that 331, but if I break down on the side of the road, needing a water pump or needing, starter or anything, uh, you're stuck. You're gonna be getting towed home. Just because, yeah, that's the hook down there somewhere. Let's see, I got some bolt cutters here somewhere. But yeah, you're stuck. You're gonna get towed home because you're not gonna be able to go to the local parts store and get what you need. You're gonna have to order it and wait days for it. So that was one thing I didn't like about it. And it ain't a big deal breaker. Don't get me wrong. But at least a small block Chevy, I can go to any parts house and get anything I need for this motor when I'm broke down on the side of the road. But anyway, getting back to that Dodge, well, that's not going to work. So the reason I sold that Bel Air was because I got approached by a guy at a car show that I had that Dodge at. And I actually won awards with that Dodge just for the originality part of it. But I had a guy approach me, and he, same kind of deal with that Bel Air. He had one in high school or first car he learned to drive in, or his parents had, whatever. And he seen that, and I didn't have, I didn't have it advertised for sale. I wasn't planning on selling it. And he approached me, wanted to buy it, and I turned him down. I didn't even give him a chance to make me an offer. I just told him, no, I'm not interested in selling it. And so I let it go. Or, he got away. He didn't even give me I didn't get his number or anything. And then the following year, I'd had that car for a couple of years by then, maybe 3 years. And then he, or not him, but right before my daughter was born. So, yeah, you heard that right. Guys, I'm 50 years old. I'm getting ready to turn 50 in April. And my wife and I have been married for 24 years, 25 years. I know it's bad. I should know, but we've been trying because I have 3 daughters from a previous marriage, and me and my wife, current wife, had been trying for 20 plus years, and wasn't getting anywhere. And then we almost gave up, and that's when she got pregnant. And that was 2 years ago, because she's getting ready to turn 2 years in March. But at the time when she was born, my youngest daughter at the time was 25. So my 3 older daughters are, uh, yeah, 31, 29, and 26, something like that. I'm bad with dates and age and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get you one way or another. There we go. So yeah, right before she was born in March. So right before then, I decided to just sell that car, and because I wanted to get an older Chevrolet, and it was I don't know if you see it on the page of on my YouTube channel. It was a 1927 Chevrolet 2-door sedan, and I wanted to buy it, so I ended up selling that Dodge to a good friend of mine. He had liked it from the first time he had seen it. After once I got it, and so I didn't go to him first, but I put it online to sell it, and his wife had seen it, and I mean he called me like this. That car sold like within an hour of me posting it on uh, the internet. So I sold that, and then after daughter was born and we got all settled and everything, I went up north and bought that Chevrolet. I had it for probably about a year, and it had just, so I wanted to make a street rod out of it, but it was a museum car. It came right out of a museum, and it had the wooden spoke wheels and everything on it. It was a cool old car, fun to drive, but it was 45 mile an hour top speed, similar to like a Model T. 27 Model T was about the same, other than it drove a lot easier than a Model T does. But yeah, I ended up buying that, and I wanted a street rod of it. It was too nice car to street rod, but like I say, it was a museum car. It came right out of the museum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and so I took it to car shows, and every car show I ever entered it in won. So it was a nice piece, but it just wasn't for me, and I didn't want to tear it up. I just didn't want to destroy it by hot rodding it. And I'll tell you too, those Chevrolets up till about 1935 were all wooden frames and the under the sheet metal on the body. So that wasn't ideal for a street rod. I mean, it wouldn't really much matter. But to me, I mean, like a Model A or whatever, it's all steel, so it'd make a little bit safer. And so I ended up, I let that go. And then, like I said, I was at that car show. I was at the car show with that 27 Chevy when I seen that uh, Bel Air. And I talked to the guy, and then I let it go. And then I ended up putting that 27 up for sale just because it wasn't practical, and I didn't really want to have my daughter riding around in it with the gas tank right behind her. And so I ended up selling it, and then I called that guy up because I kept that guy's number on that Bel Air, and then I was able to negotiate a fair price. I shouldn't say fair price, but I was able to negotiate what I was willing to pay, and I bought it. But yeah, it was a really nice car, but even it was, and I'd put seat belts in it after I got it because that way we could go for a ride, be safe. But I'm telling you what, getting her in and out of the back of that with the car seat was a pain because of being a two-door like that. And it'd probably been worse if it'd been a sedan with a post because it was bad enough with it being a hardtop. And so, like I said, I just came across that guy that wanted to buy it, and that took me back to the Dodge. Like, just give this guy a price, whether you want to sell it or not. And if he bites, he bites. If he don't, at least you know. And that's what I did, and he bought. So now I'm officially out of anything. I don't plan on buying anything at the current time, but that'll change, I'm sure, because I'm always coming across something somewhere. And I would like to find a wagon of some kind, 50s, 60s wagon. Be kind of cool to build. Even if I could find they did make, of course, obviously they made Dodges and Plymouth station wagons back in this year, and they're not real good looking cars, but they did make Chrysler. Chrysler made a wagon too, and if I could find like a '54, find the same year, I'd probably be down with that for sure. And then eventually I will build that street rod, but I'll probably do it with a Model A or, and I'm not opposed to doing it with the Chevrolet. Because like I said, that wood stuff ain't ideal, but it ain't like it's never been done before. And there we go. So I would do it. But I just like to find one that's a little rougher shape than what I had because that car was just. There's a point when you see a car like that and you're thinking, don't be an idiot. And I even had people tell me that at the car shows, like, don't do anything to this, and I get it. I mean, so I think I'm going to quit rambling. If you guys are still watching after all this, I salute you, but sometimes it's good to just sit, talk while you're working. Like I said, I'll have this conversation whether you're listening to me or not. I think I'm taking it out, but I think I can reuse these dimmer switches if it's even any good. Probably not, but I can reuse these. Only problem, for some reason, I've noticed on all these 6-volt switches, they all got more wires than what they should have, and I don't know why. So I mean, it still acts like it works, so it may be okay. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna get a little more work done, and I'm gonna call it a night. So appreciate you watching. If you would, please like and subscribe. Uh, I mean, that'll definitely let me know that people's interested in this stuff. If you are, I mean, that is if you are interested in it. I mean, it don't cost anything to subscribe, but I would appreciate it if you did, and then that just helps the channel grow. And then, as I've said before, uh, I'll get once I get a little more comfortable being in front of the camera and stuff, I will loosen up more and definitely be better. What do you want to call it? Better entertainment, I guess, is the word. So, but anyway, appreciate you. See you on the next one.